Is he right? Did I f this up? Did I f up music?
T-Pain's journey through life hasn't been an easy one. Despite once being a beloved household name who would top every chart with his hits, his career has seen the pits of downfall filled with ridicule and criticism. A man beloved by his audience belittled to a man filled with self-doubt, becoming the victim of depression. His go-to rap style with the electric Autotune that lulled his listeners had become the very thing that would nosedive his career, and that was only the beginning. His personal life, too, seemed to come across a plethora of obstacles. To understand how his life took such a darkened turn, we first need to begin at the start. Who is he, and how did he achieve such stardom, only to lose it all? Born Fahim Rashad Najimon on September 30th, 1985 in Tallahassee, Florida, had a passion for the art form of music since he was the tender age of only 3. Ever since he lived a childhood filled with a rich tapestry of musical influences that cemented his desire to create tunes. His love for music could be seen by all those around him. He converted his room into a studio room at just 10, equipped with a keyboard, a beat machine, and a 4-track recorder, everything he needed at the time to make some tunes. Growing up in the hip-hop scene of Tallahassee, he found himself shrouded with the city's pounding rhythm and blues. It was within the Tallahassee music scene that in 2000, he came together with 4 other members to form the hip-hop group, Nappy Heads, which became a big hit in their hometown. The group quickly became a household name because their energetic and boisterous tunes absolutely addictive, leading to them gaining regional success in their town, Tallahassee, where they delivered several singles. Their journey to success was a rapid one, after they dropped singles that were upbeat like and FLA, which became regional anthems, showcasing the group's creative and artistic prowess. Their performances were enthralling and electrifying with innovative sounds that were a seamless blend of R&B, hip-hop, and reggae. The songs got widespread acclaim because they resonated with listeners, giving them an escape. These singles may not have directly catapulted the group into mainstream success, but it definitely became a formative milestone in T-Pain's success journey. T-Pain was a talented artist since the start of his youth, producing and writing his own lyrics at just 10. Sending out hits at 15 was really no big deal for him. The group's album was mastered and mixed by none other than Mike Groove in a small 2-room apartment in Jacksonville. Fancy studios and recording rooms didn't matter for the group because their talent alone was enough. Some other singles by the group were Caughty and FLA Boys, which were always on repeat. The group's success led them to an opportunity to sign with Sony's Red Label imprint under Matt Knowles and Rico Wade. However, despite the group's success, they faced some unforeseen contractual disagreements due to which the deal fell through. However, it seems that the group wasn't made to last. With the rise in success, also came the rise in feuds among the group members, especially with T-Pain's father managing the group. There were accusations of major favoritism, which led to more and more disagreements. And just 4 years after Nappy Heads came under the spotlight, it began to fall out of the public eye. However, the group's success did create a platform to start from for one particular group member, T-Pain himself. His determination and passion led him to the path of embarking on a solo career. He took the opportunity and success Nappy Heads gave to him to navigate his way through the industry. This new solo path allowed T-Pain to let his visions and talents shine through and further cement his legacy in the industry. He left the comfortable confines of Nappy Heads and began releasing his own mixtapes with his debut solo, Back Era's It, in 2004. The mixtape allowed him to experiment with his ideas and visions, creating his own tunes, unique to him. Soon after he released his debut solo, he released the song I'm F'd Up, a remix of the hit song Locked Up by Akon. I'm F'd Up made rounds among listeners and garnered much attention, even the attention of Akon himself, who was so greatly impressed by his works. He immediately offered him a deal to Convict Music, his record label. During his journey to find his own identity, he began to experiment with Autotune, a technique to enhance an artist's pitch. Soon, Autotune became a part of his unique identity, synonymous with his name. His debut release caught the attention of many listeners and industry insiders. He was bringing something new, something revolutionary to the industry. His distinctive style created a futuristic and electronic vocal performance that set him apart from his peers. His style made him gain even greater success compared to his time with Nappy Heads. His success was rising exponentially. A year after his debut, in 2005, he released his first single, Im Sprung, and it didn't surprise viewers when it became a commercial hit. It was filled with irresistible tunes and catchy lyrics, making it a fan favorite. Motivated by his success, in the same year he released Rappa Turnt Sanga, his debut studio album. Rappa Turnt Sanga was filled with infectious melodies and further established T-Pain as a rising talent in the modern R&B hip-hop scene. The album was no less than a masterpiece in which were captivating pieces. Songs like I'm in Love with a Stripper and Studio Love were quick to be loved by listeners, which led to the ultimate success of the album, with it reaching number 33 on the Billboard 200 chart. On the high of success, the very next year he released yet another album, Epiphany, which solidified his standing in the industry when it sold over 1,000 copies and reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 charts in its first week of release. This album showed how he was now becoming a prominent figure, especially with collaborations with some of the most renowned artists at the time, such as Akon and Young Jock. Each new album showcased a new chapter of the artist's journey. Each hit that was sent out would become an anthem for partygoers. His bold move to embark on his solo career had led him to such heights of fame, which only ignited his passion for music further. He became a trailblazer. Epiphany's lead single released in early 2007 was Buy You a Drink, Shawty Snappin', featuring Young Jock, which quickly rose the ladder and got to number 1 on not only the Hot 100, but also the Hot R&B Hip-Hop Songs chart, the first to reach number 1 on both. The second single of Epiphany, Bartender, was released mid-2007 in June and featured the famous artist Akon. This too became a fan favorite, reaching number 5 on Hot 100. It seemed T-Pain was delivering hit after hit, riding the high of success. Then in October 2007 came the final and third song from the album, Church, which did garner many views but didn't join the other 2 singles in the United States charts. Regardless of that, his success throughout the year was still unmatched, and to further cement it, T-Pain was featured on 4 top 10 singles simultaneously for 2 weeks in late 2007 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Like his previous albums, Epiphany 2 created major waves leading to even greater success. This prompted T-Pain to release his third studio album, 3 Rings, in 2008. With each album, listeners witnessed the artist's growth and how his innovative musical styles were seamlessly integrated into his music. 3 Rings showed the success he had garnered when his album featured collaborations with artists such as Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, and Kanye West, a portrayal of the reach and influence T-Pain had gotten. The lead single for this album, Can't Believe It, which featured Lil Wayne, garnered much attention, peaking at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. T-Pain was on a constant rise, so much so that his success as an artist wasn't confined to his own albums. Instead, he became a much sought-after collaborator. His skills had the power to transform singles into chart-topping hits, and his peers recognized his immense influence. His collaborations with Flo Rida and Kanye West solidified his legacy, etching his name into the annals of music history. T-Pain emerged as a dynamic force, reshaping the music scene in ways no one else could match. He then went on to release his first single, Take Your Shirt Off, from his 4th album. However, upon not being as successful as his previous lead singles, it was dubbed as a promotional single. Then in early 2010, he officially released the lead single of the album, Reverse Cowgirl. T-Pain continued his projects and collaborations till he made a jarring announcement on the 30th of March 2013. The artist had cut off his signature dreadlocks and announced the title of his 5th studio album, leaving fans in shock. He came on what was then Twitter to announce the title, saying, "The name of my album is Stoicville, the Phoenix. To me, a phoenix represents new beginnings, a new era, a new life. I'm rising from the ashes." Since then, the artist kept building anticipation for his album. Following another delay, after the album missed its release date, T-Pain confirmed the album was on its way. Finally, after numerous delays and changes, his 5th album, which was now called Oblivion, was released in November 2017, marking a significant moment in his career. From critically acclaimed albums to chart-topping singles, T-Pain's influence on the industry is undoubtable. He brought a new shift in the music world which cemented his legacy as a true pioneer of contemporary music. His success showed how undeniable his artistic talents were, and his innovative use of Autotune was exactly the something new the industry needed. This innovative approach to music became a trademark of his, inspiring a new wave of artists. However, as his fame grew, so did the controversy surrounding his use of Autotune. The very thing that brought the artist so much fame and joy had now become the very thing that would become a source of turmoil and depression for him.
It was seen as a gimmick, and everybody thought I was going to be going after that, so, that didn't work out.
T-Pain's artistic innovation became a source of heated disagreement among critics and fellow artists. Now, many artists saw the introduction of Autotune as an innovative, fun way to integrate new musical styles. However, some also viewed it as a cheap trick that overshadowed actual raw talent. The Autotune debate carried on for a while, intensifying as many artists criticized T-Pain for heavily using Autotune to mask his vocal abilities. The debate reached its extreme in the late 2000s, when many renowned artists in the industry began to question the justification of using Autotune.
It became a staple. I didn't know it was going to do that. I just wanted to sound different.
Despite the heavy criticism, T-Pain didn't let it bring him down. He stayed steadfast in making his own music. Autotune for him wasn't a mask, but rather something that differentiated the artist from the rest, making him stand out. Along with the challenges and constant criticism he faced, he tried his best to stay afloat. However, his life took a turn for the worse when, in addition to public scrutiny, he began facing mental struggles. In the public eye, the impact of such scrutiny may not have been visible, but T-Pain came forward in Netflix's docuseries This Is Pop, where he confessed to being a victim of depression due to the backlash. That is the very moment, and I don't even think I realized this for a long time, but that's the very moment that started a 4-year depression for me. The point in time that sparked this downward spiral was when a fellow artist, Usher, whom T-Pain considered to be a friend, severely criticized him, saying, "Yeah man, you really effed up music for real singers." Hearing those words come out of a friend's mouth was soul-crushing for T-Pain. It was as if he lost his flam all within one conversation. Another blow came from the famous artist Ye, aka Kanye West. It took many by surprise when T-Pain revealed Kanye had written an impromptu diss track about him and was rallying everyone present at the studio to join in and chant the words while they were working on the trailblazing album 808s and Heartbreak. Another industry figure who criticized and questioned the usage of T-Pain's Autotune technique was none other than the Heart of the City singer, Jay-Z. Jay-Z's track DOA, Death of Autotune, seemed to be a direct drag at T-Pain's use of Autotune, which had become a trademark of his. The crux of the song was to bring an end to Autotune, which to many seemed like a personal slam against the artistic choices of T-Pain. This track only amplified the doubts and insecurities that were creeping in T-Pain's mind. The consistent and harsh criticism from fellow artists plunged T-Pain into a prolonged period of depression. The criticism made him feel undervalued, struggling to get the appreciation and validation he believed he deserved for his massive contribution and innovation to the industry. Along with dealing with the emotional turmoil of harsh criticism from his colleagues in the music scene, T-Pain's struggles were only exacerbated by personal losses and the financial challenges he faced. Despite all of the success and accomplishments in his career, a major aspect that shaped the man behind the music is his personal life. To be more specific, his family. T-Pain is an extremely faithful man, and his marriage to Amber Najim has been a source of constant support and motivation. The two made things official by tying the knot in 2003, right before T-Pain's rise to fame. Soon, their family of 2 grew to a family of 5 with the arrival of their 3 children, Lyric, Musique, and Cadence. Throughout the highs and lows of T-Pain's career, Amber remained a steadfast support, always lifting him up. T-Pain often speaks about how his family provides him with a deep sense of comfort and stability. The artist in 2019 spoke how there's nothing more grounding than being with family to bring you back from all the highs and the thousands of people every night. T-Pain is known to put his family first, above all else, and he often showcases his love for them through his social media platforms. The artist's openness about his personal life has allowed fans to understand and connect with him at a deeper level. However, soon, his happy family was going to be struck by one of the biggest griefs, the loss of a loved one. In August of 2016, horror struck the T-Pain family when Javonna Glover, T-Pain's 23-year-old niece, was fatally stabbed at her workplace in Tallahassee, Florida. The distressing incident took place at Javonna's workplace, a Walgreens store. Around 10:15 a.m., authorities responded to a distress call from the Walgreens store and arrived at the scene where they found a female victim bleeding heavily. Unfortunately, the victim was T-Pain's niece. Despite all rescue efforts, Javonna couldn't make it. Her injuries proved to be fatal, and she sadly passed before she could reach the hospital. The passing of such a young soul in a completely senseless act of violence was heavy in the minds of the community, especially T-Pain. The loss of his niece absolutely ruined the artist. In hopes of at least getting justice for his family, T-Pain took to his social media to ask millions of his followers for assistance in catching the culprit. In his heartfelt efforts, he shared images and descriptions of the suspect in hopes of finding any leads. As the investigation unfolded to the public, it was later found out the assailant was none other than Javana's ex-boyfriend and father of her 2-year-old daughter, Tavon Jackson, adding more heartbreak to the loss. Javana's grieving mother, Jennifer Battles, spoke out about the relationship and revealed to all how the assailant was an abusive man who may have treated her daughter well initially, but the facade faded over time. Another piece of information that came to light was that Javano made the brave decision to put an end to her toxic relationship with Tavon just a day before the horrid incident. The gruesome and shocking details of the incident were captured by the surveillance cameras at Walgreens, which showed Tavon fleeing after committing the horrendous crime. T-Pain couldn't rest till justice was brought to his niece and her was behind bars. However, the search for the assailant seemed to be more lengthy and challenging than he had thought. Tavon stayed hidden for a year, unlocated by the authorities, leaving Javona's family in frustration and anger. Finally, a breakthrough was made in early 2017 when authorities found Tavon's body in a wooded area near the original crime scene while working on an unrelated investigation. The authorities concluded that it was safe to say the cause of death was most likely. The news brought some closure to Javona's family, however, a void was forever created in their family. In the midst of all this chaos, another incident that truly tested the artist's resilience and strength was when his brother sadly passed away. But it would soon get even worse for the artist when trolls began blaming T-Pain for his brother's death. His brother's illness, which isn't publicly known, sent him to the hospital twice. While not many details of the were shared publicly, T-Pain did write a sincere message which he posted on his social media in December of 2018. The message entailed a heartfelt thank you to the staff that worked tirelessly for hours to keep his brother alive during his hospitalization. I first want to say thank you to all the people that were involved in keeping my brother alive. I can't express enough gratitude to the medical staff that kept my family whole. Moreover, the whole ordeal put a massive financial strain on the artist's shoulders, yet T-Pain still paid off the astronomically massive medical bill. T-Pain was sure to clarify he had paid the expenses and was grateful for all who had taken part in caring for his brother. However, even in such trying times, heartless trolls were out for T-Pain, accusing him of being responsible for his brother's death. The troll went on to say if the artist had paid more money, his brother would still be alive. The cruel words got to T-Pain and struck a chord deep within, adding an unnecessary layer of guilt and heartbreak to his already tragic life. In a candid interview with Plugged Sounds, T-Pain shared his thoughts regarding the matter, saying, "This man just told me I let my brother die because of the hospital bills, after I paid $2.2 million to the hospital. And he told me if I would have paid more money, then my brother would still be alive." During a frenzy of emotions, he further added on how money didn't fix everything. He later gave more deals regarding the heartbreaking passing. He shared how he, his brother, hit his head on the effing kitchen counter and his brain started bleeding and he went brain dead and then he died. How can money fix that? The whole incident highlights how toxic and cruel online harassment can become. The anguish T-Pain felt over the loss of his brother was doubled because of words spoken by a stranger. On top of the harrowing tragic incidents T-Pain faced, he also found himself having financial trouble. In February 2017, T-Pain found himself amid a high-stakes legal battle with Cash Money Records. Now, despite being the hitmaker behind Buy You a Drink, T-Pain was forced to sue for $500,000 in unpaid royalties. According to TMZ, the conflict revolved around his work on Lil Wayne's track Got Money from the album Thought Carter 3, and also how T-Pain's artist, Young Fire, was snubbed from How to Hate from the album The Carter 4. Choros Se Odias Hori. Both albums proved to be massive hits, topping the Billboard 200 and going triple platinum. With this kind of success, T-Pain felt he had every right to claim the missing cash, especially when it was amounting to a staggering $500,000 in royalties. The drama didn't stop there. By June 2018, T-Pain was tangled in another dispute, this time with his record label, Convict Cartel. He sued them for failing to pay him for his fifth album, Oblivion. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported that T-Pain was after at least $200,000 for an advance payment and another $200,000 for delivering the album, plus ongoing royalty accountings. His frustration was clear as he fought to get what he was rightfully owed, but the legal saga continued. By December 2018, T-Pain turned his sights on his former management company, Chase Entertainment Corporation. According to The Blast, he discovered they had never held a proper talent license and had been dishonest about the financial details of his career. He sued for over $1 million, demanding the return of all commissions he'd paid since 2005. Feeling betrayed by those he trusted to manage his career, T-Pain was determined to get justice. It seemed that everyone was out to take T-Pain's money. Finally, in June 2019, after a lengthy legal battle, T-Pain and Chase Entertainment reached an agreement. This settlement allowed T-Pain to drop all charges and marked a significant victory for him. In recent times, T-Pain has been making quite the waves in several exciting ways. Right after winning the first season of The Masked Singer in early 2019, he surprised fans with One Up, his new album, and that's not all. He even kicked off a US tour for the album's promotion. Then came March 2023. T-Pain surprised fans again by dropping his latest exciting new album, On Top of the Covers, an album that was a bit of a departure from his usual auto-tune heavy sound. This time, he went with a more stripped-down approach, covering various songs and showing off his raw vocal skills. He also teamed up with the fan-favorite Meghan Trainor on her track Been Like This from her album Timeless. T-Pain can be seen as a revolutionary figure in the music scene. He brought a new trend to hip-hop and rap that had its own unique craze. From his early start with Nappy Heads to his groundbreaking performances, T-Pain garnered remarkable success and left a lasting impact on the genre of music. However, his success came with a price. It brought with it a plethora of scrutiny and criticism, which triggered severe emotional turmoil. Yet still, despite the challenges, T-Pain still committed to creating masterpieces for all to enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, click on the ones showing on your screen now to watch similar content.